All right, welcome to Hayden Cooks a Lot. I'm going to be making a little no-bake dessert right now, peanut butter pie. So let's see here. I'm going to start with sifting my powdered sugar. So before we get started, I have my hair is pulled back, nothing on my hands. If you have long sleeves, they need to be rolled up. Wash your hands really good. I've already done all that. I'm going to get out a piece of wax paper, okay, that I'm going to tear off and set here. If it wants to curl up on you, just flip it over, okay, and it won't curl on you anymore. All right, so we need to sift some powdered sugar. So powdered sugar always needs to be sifted, even if the recipe doesn't say so, because you can't beat out lumps later. And lumps get in powdered sugar, also known as confectioner sugar, when it is exposed to air. So I need 1 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. So if I had a sifter, I'd run it through my sifter over top the wax paper. I don't have a sifter. I like to use my wire mesh strainer basket as my sifter. The bottom of a sifter has the same material at the bottom of the sifter. So I just don't find it necessary to buy an extra tool that I could use something else for. It will do the same job. So I'm going to spoon in this powdered sugar. Here we go. And then I'm going to pat the side of it. Okay, that's one way to do it. And it's putting it through this sieve here. You can also take your spoon and just like as if it was in the sifter itself, straight back and forth, whatever you want to do. This would be fun for maybe your little brother or sister to do with you. They could do this sifting part right here, or pat the sides of it, and they would think this is a good time. So, all right. So, almost done with that. We have our little mountain right there. And, yep, that's good. All right. So, now, I'm going to have, here's the bowl I want to put it in. Here is my rubber scraper. I just happen to have this out, so I'm going to use this to spoon in my powdered sugar into it until it's like a little mountain. All right. Oh, and I do have my knife. All right. So the back side of your table knife, okay, not the curved side, okay, you have this heaping up like a mountain, okay, and then I'm going to scrape across. So I kind of backed it up to get into a little hole I had there. Now I'm going to scrape across and I'm going to push off the excess so it is level and it's even, okay, and I'm going to dump that into my mixing bowl. And now I need the little 1/4 of a cup, and on the handles of your dry measuring cup, it tells you what the measurement is. So again, that was 1 cup, and this is 1/4 cup. Okay, so this is a little one. You can't find your 1/4 cup. How many tablespoons are in 1 cup? 16, right, so that's your equivalent. So if there's 16 in 1 cup, how many is in 1/4 of a cup? Right, 4. All right, so you can always use tablespoons. And then, since I did this over top of wax paper, then you just pick up your wax paper, okay, and you hold it like this, like a little U, and then I can dump this back inside of my container that it came out of to use later for a different recipe. All right, here we go. And this container, in case you're curious, I get these at restaurant supply stores. We have 2 of them that I'm aware of in the Raleigh area. One is in South Raleigh, and one is somewhere near, like, I don't know, Atlantic, somewhere around there, inside the Beltline. So, or no, wait, it's above the Beltline? Yeah, I think it's above the Beltline, somewhere near 540 in Atlantic, somewhere over there. But these are called Cambros. And they come with, you can buy a clear lid, and they also come in different colors like red, green, blue, whatever. Restaurants use these to store stuff in, and I love them. So I keep my some of my dry goods in these in my pantry, and then I just label them with a little sticker so I know what they are. So there we go. We have that. We're going to get, let's do the peanut butter next. So I need 1 cup of peanut butter. So my husband likes to open new jars of peanut butter all the time before the other jar is finished. He thinks he wants the fresh peanut butter. So there's nothing wrong with this peanut butter in here. He just doesn't like to scrape to the bottom. So I'm gonna get this rubber scraper down inside and I'm gonna scoop out the leftover peanut butter that's at the bottom of this jar. And I'm going to push that into my dry measuring cup. And we want to pack this in. So this peanut butter, I prefer Jif brand if I'm going to buy peanut butter that is not all that great for you. You can also use natural peanut butter if you want, that has a little bit of a grit to it usually. But any brand will work, doesn't matter. Okay. Scoop this out. All right, and now I'm gonna use the back of this here to make sure I'm pressing all of that in. Okay, and that's good enough. It's minus about a tablespoon or 2, but that'll be fine. All right, and now I'm gonna use the rubber scraper to scoop this back out. All right, now that I've measured it, and I'm dropping it on top of my powdered sugar. So if you don't have a full cup, it's okay. You can do 3/4 of a cup of peanut butter. It's not really gonna mess up your recipe at all. All right, so I've rubber scraped that out. Now I need to add in a package of cream cheese. So I just buy the store brand of cream cheese. You can use low-fat cream cheese if you want. Just do not use the fat-free one. It just has a weird flavor to it. So if you're gonna eat a dessert, let's have a dessert, you know what I'm saying? So I just buy the store brand of it. I don't really notice much of a difference at all between this and like Philly brand cream cheese, other than it costs $1 or like something or other more. So that's okay. I'll buy the cheap stuff. So this has been sitting out on my kitchen counter for 2 hours because I need it to be at room temperature. You do not want to make this pie unless this is at room temperature. Because if it's cold, it's not going to beat in correctly and be nice and creamy at the end. And then I'm just gonna drop this cream cheese down in there. And this little guy right here came up on the side. Get down there. All right, there you go. All right, get this out of my way. So that was 8 ounces of cream cheese. It's the bigger size box. You can buy sometimes a little box. It's the 4-ounce one. And there we go. All right, so now I'm going to move this stuff out of the way and get my mixer going for you. So you could use a handheld mixer if you would like. That's up to you. But if you use a handheld mixer, you need to make sure that when you go to turn it on, you're all the way down at the bottom when you go to turn it on, and you're holding onto that bowl as you're rotating the mixer around. Do not lift it up or you're gonna get splattered up with all of the peanut butter pie mixture. So here is my mixer. I have a KitchenAid stand mixer that also has arms on it. So I'm going to use the paddle on this. You would use your beaters, not your wire whip. You would use your beaters. And I'm gonna scrape off the last little bit of this peanut butter off of this rubber scraper with it. I'm gonna set this down into the bowl. Okay, and then mine has a handle on the side of this, and it has these little doohickeys there, and these have to fit on the mixer right here. So I'm gonna put this on this side, put this on this side, and then I have to push down on the back to snap it in place. All right, and then I have this little piece right here that has like a stick with this little thing sticking out on it, and I have to line up my paddle with the little thing that's sticking out so that it'll attach correctly. So I'm going to lift up my paddle, push up, and then I have to rotate to snap it into place, and now it's attached. And now I have a lift on the side. I'm gonna lift my bowl up, so I'm going to bring the lift up. All right, now I'm going to plug it in, okay? So I have a plug over here. I'm at my kitchen island, and I have plugs on the sides of my island. Woo! Oh, that wasn't supposed to be on. Woo! I should have checked that ahead of time. Oh well. All right, so good thing I went on high. I would have been wearing that powdered sugar. All right, so plug it in. Should have been off. I guess when I was pulling it out of my pantry, I probably hit this thing here and didn't even realize it. It's always off. All right, so I'm gonna turn this on low speed. The lowest speed it's on first, because we have the powdered sugar in there. All right, and this is starting to mix up. Now that the powdered sugar has worked into it, I'm going to turn this up. And I'm beating this mixture. And it's combining really well. Powdered sugar's all the way in. The white cream cheese and the brown peanut butter are creaming together right now. That looks really good. All right, so now at this point, it's time for me to stop and scrape down my bowl. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to lower the lift so my bowl goes down. Okay. Some of you might have a tilt head on your mixture. This is where you would tilt it up, but if you have a big wad of the stuff here on the paddle or on your beaters, you want to push it off. Okay, so I am going to push my rubber scraper up against the walls and along the walls of this bowl here, and I'm going to get all the way down to the bottom. Okay, and then I kind of scrape off onto my beater, okay, to get it off of the rubber scraper. And now I'm going to go to the other side, scraping down. And I'm going to get the bottom on this side. Yep. So right now, my mixture looks like this. Okay. There we go. So it looks like that. Okay, but I still need to continue to mix it because I had to incorporate the little bits that were on the side and the bottom, and I want to get those in. All right, and then we're going to add one more ingredient. All right, so start on low, and then you can turn it up. If you turn this on high right away with the powdered sugar, remember, it will go flying everywhere. So watch what you're doing. I can smell it now. Peanut butter's coming out. Woo! It's gonna taste good. I haven't had peanut butter pie in about 5 years, but I was craving it the other day when I was grocery shopping. I was like, I'm gonna make some pie. It's a southern pie. All right, turn that down now, off. And then you need some Cool Whip. So this is an 8-ounce Cool Whip. So let me see here. I think I need to cut this open. Get my knife out. All right. So I just bought, again, a store brand of this. I don't need anything fancy. I don't need to buy brand name Cool Whip. It's all the same stuff inside, okay? This, I actually had this in my freezer, so I thawed it, okay? And now I'm going to put this down inside and combine this in. Let me lower that. Okay, rubber scraping the sides of this to get every last drop out. All right, all looks good. Okay, scraping this off. And get up here. All right. Okay, and now I'm gonna lift this, mix this in on lower speed. Speed it up a little bit. Woo. And this is lightening it. Now it's looking fluffy and lighter. Okay, and now I'm going to lower this. I'm going to rubber scrape the sides and the bottom. All right, looking good. Lift. Oh. All right, I'll be back. Yeah, there wasn't anybody important on the phone. You never know. All right, this is looking good. And I think it's done. All right, so yes, nice and light and fluffy. So normally I make stuff from scratch. I did buy some Oreo thins to make my crust with. And I would normally put some of these in a food processor, process them up with the blade until they turn into fine little crumbs. I put in some melted butter, press that into my pie sheet or pie dish, and then bake that off in the oven. But somebody got into my Oreos. Who do you think that was? So there's a whole bunch of them missing, so can't make my crust. So instead, ended up having one of these ready to go. So I'm going to peel up the sides of this edge here so you can get this lid out. So you lift this up. You need to be careful you don't cut your fingers when you do this. All right, so work that all the way around. And then this insert in here is actually your lid, okay? So you want to remove this label here, the little rubber thing that's under it. Very carefully go wash this because it's dirty. Can you see all the Oreo crumbs? Plus people may have touched it, like ew. So yeah, we need to wash this thing here. And then once the pie goes in here, then this is the lid that flips over and then you seal those edges back onto it to keep your pie fresh when it's in the refrigerator. All right, so I'm gonna lower this thing here. For this attachment here, I have to push up on my paddle and rotate to lower it and then lift it off of the thing. And here you can see we have this fluffy mixture here, and it's light and creamy now, okay? So I'm going to scrape the stuff off of here. And cream cheese, peanut butter, powdered sugar, and the whipped topping. These are okay to eat raw, so you're welcome to lick this beater. You're not going to get sick like you would possibly if you were to eat raw cookie dough, because some people don't realize it's not just the eggs that can make you sick, raw eggs in it, it's also the raw flour. Flour has to be heated to a certain temperature to kill stuff that could also be in it, like E. coli. So if you pay attention to your wrapper on your flour bag. Sometimes they'll say that do not eat raw, must be cooked. So they've been putting some of those warning labels on there. So anyway, here is this fluffy, fluffy mixture, and I'm going to spoon this into the pie shell. Whoop. Okay. Looks good. All right, and I'm dolloping it all right into the middle of the pie, and then I can spread it out. All right, and then I'm gonna push up against the sides of the wall here to get all of it out, okay? Because if we leave stuff behind, unless you just wanna eat this part with a spoon, but you leave stuff behind and you go to wash it, and you've wasted ingredient, that's called money, because you paid for it. It should be in your belly, not down the trash can to sink. Okay, so, and if you owned a restaurant, you would not want your employees who are cooking to waste your money that you spent buying ingredients. You want to use all of it. So now I'm just spreading this out, okay, to the edge. I'm working this all the way around, and I'm rotating the pan as I go. Okay. And there it is. All right, and now I'm just gonna smooth around the top, try to make it look decent. Okay, swirly, swirly. Yep, okay. Now I'm gonna lick this later. Okay, something else you can do. So this is your peanut butter pie. It needs to be chilled, so you need to clean that lid off, put the lid on there, stick it in the refrigerator to chill. So I would chill it for probably at least 2 hours, okay? But when you're ready to serve it, you'll go in here with the chilled pie, take it out, serve immediately. So undo the little metal things again to lift that lid off of it. And then when you go to cut it, cut all the way down carefully. Wipe your blade of your table. You can just use a table knife. Wipe the blade of your table knife and then go to make the next cut. and then wipe it again before you make the next cut. Because if you go and you cut this, you have all this chocolate crumbs that came up, and the next one that you're gonna slice is gonna be full of the chocolate crumbs and it won't look good. Okay, at restaurants, they'll wipe with a damp towel, or sometimes they'll have a little bucket of hot water that they dip their knife in and then pull it out. They dry it off and they pull it out, and then they go to make the slices of the desserts and stuff. You could garnish with Oreos. So after, you know, you've cut it, you could put like an Oreo in the top of each person's piece, or flat, however you want to do it. You can also, since this has peanut butter in it, you could take peanuts and you could chop these up or leave them the way that they are, and then, you know, sprinkle a little bit on the top and maybe a little bit down on the plate. You could dust some more powdered sugar over the top of it to make it look pretty. So anyway, this looks really good. So I am going to taste this because this is mine. So no one else is going to eat off of this. Yummy, creamy, it's delicious. It's fluffy, and it's got a good peanut butter flavor. This was one of my favorite things when I used to waitress when I was really young. In the restaurant that I used to work in made peanut butter pie. And I would get so excited when the chef in the back would mess up cutting the pieces, because the pieces had to be perfect to be served. And he'd always save it for me, the ugly piece, and I'd get to eat it when I had my break. So, anywho, try making peanut butter pie for your family. It's a no-bake pie if you buy the crust already made. See y'all later.